Other interesting business news, a 1986 Honda three-wheeler new in the crate sells for $200,000, which is quite a pretty penny to say the least, and also shows the power and the tantamount importance of nostalgia. Perhaps I'll do some type of special edition of this show where I zoom out of the camera so you can see my bookshelf to be my left. Well, I have some vintage, Nintendo 64 in the original manufacturer box, and good old Super. No, it was an NES. Still need to get the Super Nintendo, but yeah, fun tales for how I got those as well. Let me know if that'd be something of interest in the comments. But yeah, needless to say, nostalgia sells, and it is kind of funny how more often than not, the box is worth more than the product in and of itself with a lot of collectibles. Now, this comes with thanks to Brian Hurd at thedrive.com, in which they say, quote, Holy Grail 1986 Honda three-wheeler still in the crate sells for $200,000, which, oh my God, that's a house on what was like a cheap farm toy or, cheap, three-wheeler. But again, the power of nostalgia and shoot, I mean, it's a Honda. I mean, it'll probably still fire up just like that, and that'll probably outlast most of us because it's a Honda with a gas engine. Now they say, quote, turns out it's not just automotive barn finds that command big bucks, as two-stroke nostalgia is as strong as ever. And you know me, I love collecting signs, especially defunct businesses. Still looking for a Circuit City sign. It's been 10 plus years, not a drop of luck. But yeah, it is cool. They have the old Honda dealership sign in the background of the picture behind this, crate three-wheeler. Man, those are getting harder to find and kind of funny. They actually cost more than a Honda in some cases. Now, this is specifically credited to, again, Brian Hurd, who's a writer over there. He says, quote, a collection of Honda all-terrain cycles that included a still created 1986 ATC 250R was offered up for sale by a mystery owner in New York and quickly snapped up by customers with deep pockets. The collection was on co-assignment with DNA Restorations based out of Louisiana and sold in just days after plenty of buzz in the vintage off-road and ATV community. Three-wheeler that never left the botch fetched a unheard of $200,000 all in, which, again, some of that is, a lot of these auctions is a little, I don't want to say, not mysterious. It's a little skewed because, again, you have to remember there's usually auction fees and all that kind of stuff. So this is apparently that price all in. So maybe they bid up to $175,000. Still an astronomical amount of money, to say the least. And it's kind of cool. They did put a little clear, looks like acrylic case around. Because again, the box from the factory is probably just most likely cardboard, I would guess. And you can see the cool Honda logo right on it right there. It looks like they have one that's actually pictured outside of the box. Let's see. Make these pictures a little bit bigger on the screen here. Yeah, who would have thought that was... Oh, come on, the Facebook wants me to log in. Dang you, Mark Zuckerberg. You know what? Just for that, we're going to leave the Facebook. We'll just read from thedrive.com. We don't need to zoom on the pictures today, Mark. Now, yeah, that does look pretty cool, little off-roader. I say, quote, according to Travis Glitzkar, who recently shared the update on behalf of DNA, the 1986 ATC 250R was prompted, the lot prompted the offer that exclusively ended bidding right there and then. The lot was described in the original listing as, quote, the Holy Grail, and it's clear that the DNA wasn't overselling it much. $200,000 is still enough to buy you a house in many parts in the USA. Honda's trike was the golden standard for performance three-wheelers during the early 80s. Despite its age, it's still regarded as the significant defining all-terrain vehicle. Which, again, this is not my forte or expertise in terms of automobile history, but I'm pretty sure this was also one of the versions that they got banned by U.S. government regulations in the nanny state because too many people were getting hurt on them. So I think that also is one of the reasons it's more of a collectible. Now they say, quote, in the case of $200,000, got this lucky buyer a new in box, 1986 ATC. The 146cc two-stroke made a whopping 38 horsepower and 29 foot-pound torque. Finally, a vehicle in which my Honda Civic looks strong in comparison to. Got 205 horsepower. Well, maybe 206 because I have the K&N cold air intake with the sticker on the window. That's at least 10 horsepower. They told that to me on Reddit. They don't lie there. Now, they say that's about half of the power of a typical economy car in the 1980s, and it's something with a curb weight of barely 300 pounds. For their sake, we hope our rich mystery buyer wears a helmet. Now, they say that the 1985 to 1986 models are especially desirable because they represent the pinnacle in design and performance of the original ATC 250R. This was already Honda's third design for the trike, which had launched in 1981, If the comments about this post embedded are to believe, this example was not entirely pristine, having acquired some patina over the nearly 40 years in storage, which, yeah, made sense. Especially this is one of those things that probably just threw it into storage and forgot about it. It's probably not the best climate controlled example or anything like that. Now, they say a barn find is a barn find, whether you're talking about a never restored Camaro or never opened Honda trike, both apparently can fetch the same money. While the market for the latter may seem smaller, it clearly exists, which, yeah, exactly. That's one of the things where it is fascinating how much more something is. I mean, if this wasn't in the box, maybe 10, 20, 30 grand. Like the power of new old stock or like the allure of something that's brand new, it is amazing. I think a lot of it is just people want to buy back their childhood. They want to buy a piece of history, a little bit of that. I mean, you see Nintendo 64 is just complete in box. I mean, those usually go for a few $100s, but if you want one that is factory sealed, add another 0 or 2 on top of that. I mean, the multiplier is just that astronomical because, again, it's one of those things where there are fewer and fewer examples of these out there, and that just drives up the price, age old, supply and demand, that type of thing. And it's interesting to see. I mean, it's one of those categories you don't think about because, again, relative to the automobile and car, side of collectability, this is a much smaller market, but still very impressive. A huge auction. Again, $200,000 for a trike. I mean, geez Louise, yeah, there's no way I would ever pay that much money for it. I mean, that literally is a nice house in Iowa or a very, very small shack in Texas, which hopefully they'll make more houses someday and I'll be able to buy one before I die. But yeah, let's just say I was still shocked I got $200,000 for it. And let me know. I mean, shoot, another reason to check your family barn or shed. Who knows what might be in there. You might be able to buy a house on what you find. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because as always, be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. I'm also planning my first live stream, probably going to be Saturday night, I believe February 22nd. So if you've got any questions and maybe I can provide some answers, that'd be a fun little outing there. I'll post the time up once I get that locked in place. And lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.